Hey there, my friend Perry Tinsley here. You've seen the sun rise before, right? I mean, after all these years, you must have at least seen one. But isn't it pretty remarkable? I know that when we go on vacation, especially to the beach, we actually get up early so we can watch the sunrise. And it's really kind of cool where it just goes from darkness and it's kind of light outside. And you keep waiting, and then inch by inch. A lot of times we'll sit out there with a camera and a tripod, watch it come up. But moment by moment, that transition ends up happening. It doesn't happen in a split second. It's slow, it's steady. And that process is really, and as I think about it, similar to going on your journey to better health and better fitness. So let's talk about patience and persistence on your own wellness journey. But before we get into that, I want to welcome you to another Power Blast podcast where we provide nourishment for the soul, allowing you to transform from the inside out, providing rapid results in mindset and fitness so that you can recharge that mental and physical battery of yours and reclaim your power. And I really want to let you know that my calendar is wide open for podcast viewers, my podcast listeners. It's over at talktoperry.com because it's all about keeping that energy high. And a lot of times life is distracting us left and right. And really, what we focus on, we're giving energy to, and we're kind of drained. Like a 2 to 5 year old smartphone, a couple of percent battery life. You got the warning signals all over the place. There's no charger in sight. And you want to get stuff done. So we'll do that in 15 minutes to kind of boost your battery. That's over at talktoperry.com. Now, if you've ever considered this, nature, it really doesn't rush. You know, everything still gets accomplished. The seasons change. The sun rises. The waves, the tide ebbs and flows. I guess that's the phrase for it, right? And all seems to happen on its own timeline. Now, while it seems to be an ease and flow, it's also, I marvel at the way, at least the perspective I have and many people I've talked to, time seems to be ticking by faster and faster each day. So while you could sit and try to watch grass grow and it seemed to take forever, it seems like in no time, gosh, how'd that happen? I just mowed last week and the lawn's even taller than what it was. But your journey towards health and fitness, it's similar to that natural process. That's what I'm getting at, because it requires patience and persistence and really a deep understanding that really meaningful change, it doesn't happen overnight. And I know we want it to. We live in this world that really embraces it. It glorifies instant gratification, right? You order coffee, boom, it's in your hands in just a few minutes. You click the button in your car and boom, you've got a map ready to go to take you wherever that destination is. You can instantly do a Zoom with somebody halfway across the world or all the way across the world, maybe all the way across the world to your next door neighbor. I don't know, I'm being silly here. But you can even place an order online, like on Amazon, and have it delivered the next day. But when it comes to our bodies, instant results, they aren't possible to just have it instantly transform, and it isn't really sustainable. A lot of times I will ask people, okay, people tell me what their goal is or what they aspire to do, or that, usually it's at a frustration or a tipping point in their life. And I said, okay, I wave a magic wand. Tomorrow you wake up and instantly have that ideal health, fitness, mindset, body, whatever it is that you want, that you desire. What would you do to sustain that, to keep that going? A lot of times people searching for the edit undo button, the easy button. I know I did. I was searching for, it's like, how can I undo all these years of unhealthy habits very quickly? But it's really, you wouldn't learn anything in the process, and you wouldn't develop the habits needed to keep that sustained. What would end up happening is if the magic wand thing happened, unless you changed your mindset and your habits and your behaviors, you go right back to where the default setting was. That little mechanism, they call it cybernetics, that little cybernetic mechanism that kicks in, you go right back to your default setting. But just remember, the body's not a machine. Well, it kind of is a machine, but it's a masterpiece of nature. And like masterpiece, it takes time to create magnificent work. All right. So that was a big aha for me when I decided to get serious on my fitness journey. I wanted to have the instant results, but deep down, a lot of it ended up being like vanity results. Like, I am so frustrated with where I'm at now that I just want to undo it so I am satisfied and I can go back to just the old habits of, pizza, beer, whatever it is. And I still have pizza and beer now, but I have a different way I approach things. But I started to embrace, I want this for a lifetime. I was tired of the lose weight, gain weight. I'm using words from my friend Leanne: overeat, deprivation, exercise, don't exercise. It's natural to feel overwhelmed. A lot of times people feel so overwhelmed, they don't even get it started. Now, I know if you've been listening or watching this podcast for years, chances are you are just in flow and you've just been going. And there's probably somebody out there that could really benefit from these tips here. But a lot of times we feel like the hourglass has run out. The pressure of daily life, the demands, the aches and pains of the chapters of life that happen, sometimes they become insurmountable. And if you just put it in perspective, like, you think it's like this insurmountable wall. Like the Wall of China, it really didn't just show up. It was built one brick at a time, or whatever they used for for building it. But your fitness journey can really be built with one step at a time, one change at a time. And I get it. A lot of times we get into this thinking, well, it's just one change. What will that difference make, 3 months from now, 4 months from now? Will it make a big difference? And we've got to trust and believe that if we start doing the healthy habits, we go into our imagination. We're like, okay, what is it that's at that end result? I often do that with clients. You at your end result, what are you thinking? What are you reading? What are you putting in your mouth? What are you doing for exercise? What are you doing for a career? What's your energy like? How do you feel? What do you do going about your day? And we go through all this visualization stuff. That person at that end result, even though their current world and their current circumstances aren't giving them any evidence that they could do that stuff. It's like, okay, let's get into that end result. What are the things that we can start doing now to build to the next base camp up to that level? What are the healthy things that you can do now? That person that's doing all those things, you can do many of those things now. You just might not see the instant results, but got to be like nature. The season will happen should you keep going, nurturing yourself, swapping out the soda for water, committing to a 20-minute fitness class, or even just going for a walk around the block, but consistently. It's not like the grass kind of starts growing and says, I don't want to grow anymore, unless there's like a big drought or something like that. But on typical growth mode sort of things, it keeps going just bit by bit. Healthy choices today, significant changes tomorrow, when done consistently, right? It's the overwhelm and indecision. They often come hand in hand, and we got to really catch ourselves when we're doing that, because there's tons of diets out there, exercise plans, health advice left and right. Do this, don't do that. It's easy to really get lost, right? But overcoming that stuff really comes down to the simplicity. And that's what I ended up doing. I'm like, how can I make this simple? So I started removing all the barriers that I had. It's like, well, I don't have time. Well, I figured out the time. Well, I really, I have a long drive home. I need to sit and relax. Nope, I don't need to sit and relax because exercise will energize me. Well, you know what? I want to go out and have fun with the guys on the weekend. Well, you can still have fun with the guys on the weekend. Just doesn't have to involve the things that don't help you reach your goals. well, I can't do, and so, well, maybe I need to read a little bit more of my personal development. Every time there was a, yeah, but I was figuring out a way around that obstacle. And the obstacles were me creating them. It really wasn't anybody else. It was all on me taking responsibility. Got into the simplicity of it. Wholesome foods, vegetables, lean proteins, healthy fats, regular movement, pushing and pulling exercises, adequate rest, got sleep, positive mindset, fueling my brain, just like 10 pages a day or even 10 minutes of reading a day. Something that's going to grow you and expand you, right? Expand your mind. All that other stuff starts to kick in. Your world starts to shift around you. So, last thought here, and I always end this podcast with this, assuming that you even listen to that at the end. Maybe you haven't caught it before. I always end with, it's never too late. And I say that at the end because I embrace that. The moment that I started embracing that and I made that committed decision, and because I was, for the longest time, I was letting that inner voice to have a little chatter with me, and talking me out of it, saying, oh, you know what? It's too late for you in life. It's too late. You've let things go too long. There's no way you can do that. You know what? I was 38 years old at the time. The thing was, the role models I was using, people in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, were the people that got out of shape, had unhealthy habits, had health issues, and I saw that as my roadmap. So in my mind, this is the way life's going to be. It's too late. I am now 58. I dispelled that. I'm like, you know what? Is that really true? I'm going to find out. So it only took me 90 days to start getting the habits. I dropped the weight. I was in shape, and I started adopting lifelong habits. I'm like, okay, you did it in 90 days. It was kind of that magic wand effect. 90 days wasn't all that long. What's next? I needed to keep the habits going. So just like the rising sun each day that we started this podcast, it is a new opportunity, a fresh start every single day. So today is the perfect day to make that one change and then keep adding them up. Do them consistently. And it's a perfect day for you to keep going on your health and fitness. Here's to new beginnings, right? And hey, I'm here to help you. Hop on an empowerment call with me. TalkToPerry.com. Sometimes I call it a recharge call because we are like a burned out smartphone, 2% battery life, bouncing from thing to thing to thing. Do we dare even take on one more thing? So I want to help you recharge. I want to hear your goals, things you're struggling with. I'll tell you within 15 minutes what's going to be the best for you to get the biggest results from so that you can reclaim your power. And I'll give you 3 strategies so you can boost your energy, reclaim your time, and make you the priority and boost that battery back up to 100%. What would your life look like if you were running at 100% every single day? Not full on like you're burning out on energy, but you had the energy to take on your day. TalkToPerry.com. So just know you can choose to use your power and take control, or you can let the excuses, justifications, busyness, all the things, blaming other things for why you can't, the inner chatter, you can let those drain your power and take control of you. Or you can decide and commit to yourself and your goals and choose to figure out new ways. Look at possibilities, learn, grow, and keep moving forward. You've got this, my friend. And hey, I'd love to hear your top takeaway from today. Drop those down in the comments. I'm looking down there as if I could see them, but I do respond to those. You absolutely rock, my friend. And as always, remember, there it is. It's never too late. We'll see you next week. That's another Power Blast podcast in the books. Thanks so much for tuning in. And remember, when you are ready to recharge your battery, make sure you go to TalkToPerry.com. That's TalkToPerry.com. That's Perry. And I want to listen. I want to hear, what's going on. I want to help you in that 15-minute call to recharge your battery and reclaim your power so that you're off and running and creating massive momentum toward your dream. Also, every day, I am delivering more motivation, support, tips, and strategies inside my free community with amazing people like yourself. And we are conquering the mindset and the fitness I do 52 weeks of free training in there. Plus, I coach and I mentor people, as well as give you access to tons of resources and guides. It's called my Upside Down Fitness community because we work on a lot of mindset stuff, the inside stuff, and we're a fun group of people striving to make healthier habits in this awesome chapter of life. So make sure you get in there. I promise you'll absolutely love it. Just head over to upsidedownfit.com and you can get into the group. And hey, you would be an awesome friend if you get over to iTunes or wherever you listen to your podcast and leave an honest rating and review for the Power Blast podcast. It helps awesome people like you find this show even faster, and that's who I'm looking for, awesome people like you. That's all I have for this week, my friend, and just to let you know, you absolutely rock. That's all I have for this week. I'll see you on the next Power Blast podcast, and always remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week.